Hello everyone and welcome to the FRS. Tonight we have got the Porsche Hypercup. It's a single make series where we have tonight 12 drivers heading out into this Barcelona circuit with the Porsche 992 Cup car, all in the same car. It's only going to be driver skill that separates them. I'm your host Roy Waller, and tonight I am joined by Stephen Tutt. Welcome to the commentary box, Stephen.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. I'm looking forward to some good racing. I do like the Porsche Cup. It's a little bit more competitive than the multi-card races.
Yep, no one can complain about the bop of their car here tonight. Only thing that's going to separate them is their pace and potentially some setup changes, but all in the driver's hands to make the best of the machinery given to them. As we get underway with this qualifying session, it is currently Montegini, one of two now on the track in this Porsche Hypercup series, and so we've got some jostling for position going on already.
In the last sector. Apparently I could be a bit quiet.
If you're a bit quiet, we can certainly fix that. We get underway.
This car's very close coming around for their first lap.
Yeah, this is not the best example of leaving space for your qualifying lap that I ever have seen, as well, we've got a gaggle of three cars here, but it is Stitchbury who's up and away and has got themselves plenty of clean air. But it is the likes of Jerzyk, Montegini and Wilkes who are in that little group of three behind, and well, they're going to want to find themselves some space by the end of this lap, otherwise they're just going to be burning through tyres for no reason. But for the time being, we will stick with you and Stitchbury.
Yeah, I feel like their lap's already a little bit messed up, going 3 wide down the first straight.
As it does look like the first of that pack has managed to get themselves away, but they're still extremely close together behind.
Might be a little bit of pride that led to the jostling that went all the way through the final sector and into the first lap for position.
Well, they seem to have sorted themselves up, perhaps not quite realising that the session they just came out of was practice and this is now qualifying and not the race. Though how you can be confused by that when you're leaving the pit lane, I am not sure. As we can see with these Porsche Cup cars, the new Porsche Cup car does now have ABS, but is still lacking for traction control, as we see Stitchbury getting very sideways as they came into the chicane, and sets our benchmark time for tonight of 1:47.6.
How are the track limits on Spain and Porsche? Because I haven't done it before. I saw the car behind go extremely wide in sector 2.
So as long as you're sticking within the curbing, it should be okay for track limits. As though we have seen Kevin Nordemir has had to not got time on the board just yet, as they have exceeded track limits somewhere around this track, so it's definitely doable. There are a few spots, especially up at the top of or leading out onto the back straight, very easy just to run wide there. But as of yet, now with half our drivers having set a time, Stitchbury still with the provisional pole time and is 1.5 seconds clear of the rest of the field. It's Christophe Demey in the White Flag Racing livery car, just coming around to finish the final sector.
I'm interested in seeing the times of the drivers. I don't know many of the drivers in this cup, so This is our first example of what kind of pace they're going to produce in the race.
Yeah, and for those of you not familiar with the format of this series, this will be a 5-round series. It will be broadcast here every Monday for the next few weeks, starting at 6 UTC, 7 o'clock UK time. And yeah, we're going to have a 10-minute qualifying session, followed by a 47-minute race. Don't ask me why, because I do not know. But we're going to have a mandatory pit stop in the race, and going to be interesting to see what sort of strategies come out. These Porsche Cup tyres can be a little bit lethal on their tyres with that lack of traction control. As Kevin Nordemir rounds the final corner to put a time on the board, and it is a 1:48.8, putting them in P3 so far.
Quite a big spread currently, with 9 minutes going to the back. I suppose that's a bit of an outlier. So it looks like about 3 seconds is 3 seconds is the spread at the moment.
Yep, so we've got a few drivers out there on improving lap times, as it will come as no surprise to anyone. Christoph Bakos has got quite a lot of time in hand, so it should be able to move themselves up the order for tonight's race. We just have 3 drivers remaining to set themselves a lap time, unless they want to start right at the back of the grid.
Very safe way to take that corner. I don't know if this looks like a fast lap.
Oh, for Bakos, finding so far good 2.5 during this lap, so might see them challenging Jacob by the end of it. So we've got yellow flags out for Stitchbury. I'm not sure what's happened there, but just seeing a puff of dust coming up on the corner behind them suggests they have just run slightly wide there. No big incidents to talk of. As Bakos finishing their lap now. Should be a sizable improvement of time, if not position, this time around. We'll have enough time for 1, if not 2 more laps to round out the session.
Well, there you go. That's back towards the pace of the other drivers.
Yeah, it's around that 3.5 seconds gap now, or spread across the field. But with Stitchbury way out ahead.
Yeah, and he did that time early, didn't he? He's just been at the front the whole session.
Yeah, we did see a slight improvement for Stitchbury from a 1:47.4 was there the first time, now down to a 1:47.1. But the two drivers at the bottom of our standings at the moment, just trying to find themselves a valid lap. They've been out there for quite a while now, just need to keep it valid. As we check in with Thomas Wilkes, who's currently sat down in P12 and last of our drivers.
Yeah, a bit of a squeaky bum time for these last two who are got 1 lap. They got 1 lap to do this. Put something on the board.
Some drivers do respond well to pressure, and I think for Wilkes and Klein, they just need to hope that goes in their favour. Now probably isn't the time to be testing track limits.
Yeah, they keep doing that. You sometimes wonder with this game whether that is slightly allowed.
Yeah, so a lot of these corners you can run out to the edge of the red and the white curbing, but yeah, you are playing a dangerous game with some of these corners, as there is a spinning car up ahead. That is Bakos. Thankfully spins right off the track and doesn't get in anyone's way, but we'll see. Well. Does Wilkes manage to get a time on the board? So far, is looking like this one is going to be a valid one. So they cross the line. It is enough for P9. So this last of those to have set a time, but it still leaves, not quite last, but Montegini with the unrepresentative time, I do suspect. So it's just Klein we're looking at now. Will Sven Klein get across the line and get a valid lap in? Does look good so far. Just before playing fast and loose with the track limits on the final corner, but gets themselves into P8. We just have a couple of drivers now left to set a lap time as Jerzyk has got this final lap to see if they can contest pole position away from Stitchbury. The driver with the closest chance of doing it just got the final sector to navigate. Really pushing that Porsche. You can see the rear sliding out. All that weight out over the back tyres and no traction control to speak of. These cars are lively, to say the least. And that is a... well...
Don't know.
Don't know. The game was too eager to switch over to the next session, but we do know that that was not enough to get a Jerzyk pole position. So as we run through our grid as it stands at the moment, it is Stitchbury on pole position, followed by Jerzyk, and Nordemir, DeMay, Wanda, Jakob, Actonets, Klein, Bakos, Wilkes, and the two Montaginis at the back of the grid.
Is that how you pronounce that? Do you know?
I do not.
Montagnani.
This was the name I unfortunately had much difficulty with in the GT series last time out, and I now just stick with them. Seems unfair. Apologies. Montragini.
So we'll see if Stitchbury can hold his lead. And if he does, I'm sure it'll be quite difficult to go around him if his qualifying pace is anything to go by. But you never know, anything can happen.
Yep, there's one thing to be able to put in a fast hot lap, another thing to be able to hold that together for a 47-minute race, as we will have tonight, and yeah, plenty of opportunities for mistakes or...
In his favour, he was doing that lap quite consistently in qualifying. So.
Yeah, I did want to speak for, you know, optimistically for a good race tonight, but yeah, it's going to be a challenge, I think, for anyone to take that battle to Stitchbury with the pace they did show him in qualifying. But perhaps that pace has come at the risk of demolishing his tyres due to setup. So we will see. We will see. So we will have a short formation lap here.
It's quite important to get these Porsches set up right, qualifying and the race. So you don't know what he's done.
As we come around the final corner,
It's a short one.
cars will have a short drive down to the start-finish line, and we will get that green flag waving. And we are racing at Barcelona.
Not a great start.
So Stitchbury falling back a little bit. It is Jerzyk who has got the lead at the moment, just by a nose, as Nordemir goes to the inside.
Thinks better of that one. Oh, contact.
A little bit of contact there as Nordemir gets shuffled down the field, and it's Stitchbury who is away at the front.
He looked like he was in trouble for a little bit, but that was much more brave on the brakes than some of the guys around him.
And it's Christophe de May who's made a stormer of a start, up 2 positions into second place in this race. There's a little bit of a twitch there from the back of the Porsche of Jerzyk. He now finds himself under pressure from Klein.
Wait for this.
And actually, the real winner of this start is the driver we're watching right now, Sven Klein. Up 4 positions from the start. And he's taking the fight to Jerzy.
Jerzy getting a little bit ragged on the exit to the entrance of that right-hander there.
We've got yellow flags out for Wilkes. They are back underway again. This is the number 70 car. There was contact.
We didn't catch that, whatever that was. Now we've settled, there are some big, some small winners and some big losers.
As we've got 2 cars into the pits early doors, that is Nordmir and Wanda. As we've got lights flashing up ahead. And we've got some gaps opening up further back.
What's happened there?
For the lead of the race, Christophe Demey to the outside. As this gaggle of 4 cars, Stitchbury, Demey, Jerzy and Klein. Not much separating these drivers. There's also, Jakob would like to get himself involved in this as well.
It's getting a bit feisty there. Don't know what happened, he had a big gap. He did a big gap before we checked out the pits.
Yes, I'm not quite sure what's happened for Stitchbury, as Bakos is also now falling down the order yellow flags and he's well off the back of the pack now.
Stop and go 30 for Kevin.
That must have been for speeding in the pit lane.
Well, I'm not sure about that pitting early strat because one of them hasn't done the mandatory requirement and the other one has got speeding in the pit lane, so hasn't gone well for the early pitters.
Absolutely not, as Montegini finds himself a lap down with a gap of 50 seconds to Nordemir as well, so race not going their way tonight. We've got a bit of a battle going on over P5 at the moment. Actonet's on the back. Well, Jakob goes to the inside. Drivers leaving each other plenty of space.
Oh, it's gone too far wide.
It hasn't worked this time for our Actonets. Let's imagine to keep close, and this is a battle that could go on for a while as they see a little bit of a twitch there for Jakob, and that could be the opportunity that Actonets has been looking for. Jakob does well to defend the inside.
Keep looking on the inside.
Oh, and it's a big slide from Jakob there, and he's into the gravel.
Oh, it was close. Very easily, you could have pulled Actonets into that accident.
So Actonets up into P5 as looks like Jakob has managed to get himself back going again. Remains in P6.
Looks like Nordemir doing his stop and go.
Bakos. Now the last car on this train of drivers on the lead lap at the moment. You see Nordemir having to pit. I think this is. There's a car in front of these, which I don't believe. Yeah, I think this is Montegini.
Causing chaos, and then we've got Nordemir coming out of the pit to lap down.
Oh, as
Absolute chaos.
oh, that is.
So it's the two drivers in the lead lap who spun, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think the green car is back with them.
let's have another look at that. So I think the green car is on the lead lap. It is actually the car on the inside, which is our lapped car, I do believe.
Very brave braking for
Oh,
someone.
and it was the lapped car taking to the grass there, which I think was the instigator of that incident.
Oh, I had that wrong then.
And that is Wilkes, who was the lead car who spun, and looks like has spun again.
Well done.
Is now getting themselves going again. So unfortunate for Wilkes, and also yellow flags up for Bakos. But we have got a battle. Ooh,
Oh, made a mistake.
what has happened there?
Looked like he was threatening to go in the pits, but I think it was more of a spin.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was contact there.
Easily done here in slow speed.
No, it looks like just a little bit too eager on the throttle there for Christophe Demey. Narrowly avoids going into the end of the pit wall, and that is position gained for Jerzyk up into P2. But Demey not giving this one up, is stuck close to the back of the number 61 car.
It's only put Stitchbury a little bit further ahead.
As we can see there, our leader just going out of frame. 3 seconds the gap at the moment. And Jerzyk showing some pace at the moment. Is keeping Stitchbury within his sights.
Yeah, it's still not. It's not the end, is it? 3 seconds in this game.
Absolutely not, especially not with all of these drivers yet to make a pit stop.
Yep,
So easy
pits.
to lose or gain time as you go through that. As we've got now a battle brewing over P4, Actonitz, who cleared Jacob not so many laps ago, is now finding himself on the back of Klein. Goes to the inside.
Oh, makes his own space there.
Ooh, as Klein gets a little bit slippery. Not sure if that was from the result of the contact in the previous corner. But
I think he got a little bit of a bump, but there was room. There was room to go down there.
Always the risk when you leave a gap there. If you're going to leave a car's width, you almost want to make sure you keep it there, just in case there's a little bit of contact.
So hopefully he can stay in touch despite heating his tyres a little bit.
Actonitz, who started this race in P7, now finds himself up in P4, has had a stormer of an opening stint.
Very different lines through that corner. It's like Klein's having a bit of a second wind and coming back.
Yet often the case if you've got a car too close behind you, some drivers do have the habit of driving in their mirrors with someone close behind and actually go faster when they're chasing. So let's hope that Actonitz does not get himself lured into that trap. You need to keep those eyes ahead on the track that is coming up. And there's not too much of a gap to the lead runners as well. 8 seconds back is Actonitz, and with the pace he's been showing, may be able to close up that gap.
It's what they say in cycling quite a lot. If you've got something in front of you to chase, you can see the increased pace in the numbers. If you've got nothing in front of you for a long time, or you're looking over your shoulder, you do drop back.
Just that added little bit of motivation you need, and it's a motivation that Christophe Demey will be getting just 1.5 seconds back from Jerzyk for P2.
And they've kept the lead in sight. So they've got Stitchbury constantly going around the corner in front of them.
If we look at the last laps from these top three, Stitchbury 1:47.9, 47.8 for Jerzyk, 48.1 for DeMay. So trading lap times, they're all there or thereabouts. But as a demonstration of what the pace our leader can do, they're currently sitting on a best lap by 1:47.5, 0.3 faster than the best lap of our second place sitter. So do wonder how much does Stitchbury, how much are they just holding back, keeping this race under control at the moment, keeping that gap at 3 seconds.
It'll be interesting to see how that time evolves over the next 20 or so minutes. It's a long race.
Long race, and all of these drivers still to make their mandatory pit stop. So far, only Nordemir actually having cleared their mandatory pit stop.
A little bit too quickly.
Yes, well, and as we see, Nordemir with the only driver on our stats tracker with 2 times through the pit lane, having served a stop-go 30 for speeding on his first visit to the pit box. And also see Montigini has been into the pit lane, but I imagine did not change their tyres and therefore has not served their mandatory pit stop.
Yep, it's 2 pits for him. Oh.
As Christophe DeMay making up his own racetrack.
Went especially wide to avoid the speed bumps there.
And Jerzyk has, well, just
Wow.
in the last lap, has closed down to our race leader.
What was Stitchbury's last lap, do you know?
So last lap for Stitchbury, a 1:48.7, so dropping quite considerably off of their best lap. So yeah, must be some mistake in there. But Jerzyk last time around did go and snatch the fastest lap of the race with a 1:47.4. So these drivers definitely both have the pace to take this battle on into the final 30 minutes of this race.
Jerzyk would have seen Stitchbury quite significantly drop back to him. Must be a great motivator. Watching DeMay disappear into the background over the last few laps. Must feel like he's the one moving.
Yeah, Jerzyk, so far the one to watch. And with these cars, it's so important just to be consistent and controlled with your driving. If you start to ask too much from the car, start to try and push your pace anymore, that's when mistakes can start to creep in.
Was that another faster lap from Jerzyk? What was that?
So that last lap around was faster by Jerzyk than Stitchbury, that gap coming down a further 0.3 of a second, but they're still quite a ways off their best. These are cars you can't really hustle that well. There's not so many driver aids to fall back on. When you start trying to overdrive it, that's when you can lose your pace. As we do see Stitchbury just getting a little bit twitchy there. We do have to wonder, with the blistering pace that Stitchbury was showing in qualifying, over a second off the next fastest car, whether they've just compromised on their setup and might just be eating those rear tyres away.
Something's happened, hasn't it? He was fastest over the first few laps, and there's, I don't know if Jerzyk feels like he's on the charge, but Stitchbury is coming back to them.
That gap now down to 0.8 of a second. Jerzyk right on the back of Stitchbury.
Stitchbury must have done another not under 8 again. So slowing down.
Yep, and as we take a look at the their last laps, you can see still the times tumbling towards Jerzyk. As Jerzyk putting in a 1:47.6 there, so only 2/10 off the fastest lap of the race. And beginning to apply the pressure.
Another small bite out of Stitchbury there.
May just be enough to just sit here for a little while for Jerzyk in these cup cars. So easy just to, as we said before, overcook things. So it's if you can get in the other driver's head, force them into a little mistake.
It's almost worth getting as close as possible and then start thinking of your pit strategy, because he'll be losing tyres and speed sitting here.
As the gaps have opened up across the rest of the field. However, with that incident we saw earlier between Wilkes and the back marker, Wilkes now slowly but surely gaining on the back of Montegini.
Yeah, a little bit out of position. Oh, who's that?
As we've got the yellow flags out for the other Montegini, who is currently 2 laps down to the leader.
And still yet to pit. Not a great day.
No, but they're keeping in it. Every lap around this track is going to be some experience, and I suspect many of these drivers will not have had much track time with these cup cars, and they're a very different beast to the GT3s that they will be so used to.
And it's all in the bank for future chances. What are there? Is it a 5 or 6 race cup?
So we've got a 5 race calendar ahead of us. And coming up, we will be at Zolder, Silverstone, Brands Hatch, and finishing off, I believe, at now you're asking the difficult questions. I cannot remember where we're finishing off.
I have it on my other screen.
Yes, 5 race calendar, and yeah, plenty of time for these drivers to learn these cars. Yes, Bathurst, which is going to be a whole new level of pain for these drivers. No traction control between the walls.
It's a good place to end on. It's a good list of tracks. Don't think I've swapped anything out.
Oh, as Wilkes has made his way past Montegini, but it's because Montegini is in the pits. So the second of our mandatory pit stops, but first one of the expected pit window.
I think that's the other Montegini, right?
Yes. As we've got the yellow flags out for Gokhan Actinex. Where on the track is that? Up at the hairpin in the 3rd sector.
Where's Klein? Klein made his way past.
How did he end up there? Ooh, just too much curb. Yep. That is unfortunate. But he's back underway now, still in P4.
He hit that curve
As
with a lot
our
of steering
leader,
angle.
Stitchbury, is in the pits. So let's see, where are they going to come out?
Right, this is it. This is the wild card. This is Jerzyk's time to put in a lap, put himself in contention when he goes for his own pit.
So these drivers are going to have to take tyres. So who is going to be around pit window? There's Wilkes with heavy damage on the front of their car. Very surprised they've not come into pit road at some point. There's well, that flapping bonnet isn't going to be doing their straight line speed much good. So
Nah, not interested. It's going to stay out.
Stitchbury out on track again in P6. Currently 12 seconds of clean air ahead of them to the next car ahead, which is Jacob. And Jerzyk with the laps now to start to pump in the times and see what they can extract before their pit stop.
Jerzyk staying out again.
Yep, just got themselves some clean air, and I suspect a decent amount of clean air for a while, as you can't see another car ahead of them on track, so not picking up any back markers yet, just taking the opportunity to put in the lap times. They're going to have to hope that Stitchbury at some point picks up some traffic. As we can see, there's a back marker now ahead of Jerzyk. I believe that is the slower of the two Monteginis, as they have a bit of a moment on their own in the S's.
Oh, he made the back of that car look very heavy there.
And then that is Wilkes coming around the final corner into frame. There's yellow flags out for Christophe de May. Not having the best of times. As I think that's where we saw Actonitz off the track not long ago. Let's see what has happened to de May. Oh, and is this an incident with a back marker? Oh, bit of contact and...
Bit of patience needed there.
Yep, sometimes when you're contending with a car who is so clearly off the pace, it's something, yeah, give them a bit more patience, a little bit wider room. Genie with you know, as every right to be on the track as anyone else. Ooh, although there's another little bit of a moment, and this time it's Montegini who ends up off the track and into the wall.
Yeah, a little bit of a wobble there for Montegini. It would have worked out fine, but just lost the back and turned into the other car.
As we've got Doc and Actonitz in the pit lane.
It's kind of in the middle of the pack on his own.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where does he come out in relation to Thomas Wilkes, who's yet to pit and is Tokyo drifting it around the final sector. That's not going to be doing your rear tyres any good. That certainly looks good for the cameras. So Actonitz is out in front of Wilkes, and actually it's going to be a race down to the first corner. This could have worked out quite poorly for Actonitz, as we'll have to fight his way past Wilkes. This will lose him time in the battle with Klein.
Oh, he might have done it quite easily in the end.
Yep, throws one up the inside. Is Wilkes going to try and fight this one? He's sticking with Actonitz for now. But it does look like Actonitz has the pace.
Yes, Wilkes running a bit wide and fast just before this confrontation, so Maybe struggling or heating his tyres.
Well, I imagine he is struggling with that unmistakable damage to the front.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot he's got his head open.
But Wilk's doing well to just keep with acting it so far. Hasn't dropped off too far.
So back to the front. Jerzyk must be thinking. He's doing that again. Jerzyk must be thinking of pitting soon. Nope. Not this lap. Might be enjoying the clean air.
As he comes
he's coming
past
up.
the comes around to the pit lane, let's see if he dives in. As we've also got yellow flags out for Demey again. Will Jerzyk dive into the pit lane? He does not. Let's see if we can pick up what those yellow flags were for Demey. This all looks okay. Is it going to be his favourite corner yet again?
He's easy to accelerate too much on this one.
Oh, well, we've not seen that one yet. It seems that as Demey into pit road, I think we've seen him have an incident in just about every corner around that section of the track.
Yeah, he doesn't like that slow left-hander, and he doesn't like the final sector. Has made up his own runoff area.
Stitchbury is now catching on to the back of Jacob.
Any hold up here might be exactly what Jerzyk needs.
And Jerzyk and Stitchbury trading times over these past few laps.
What were they?
Within a tenth of a second, 48.37 for Stitchbury and a 48.27 for Jerzyk. So interesting to see now that Stitchbury has got a car in his sights. Is this going to help him pick up the pace? And actually, if we look at the front of Jacob there, that is considerable damage.
With the tyre change, should Stitchbury really be matching a bit more of his earlier times? With the 27.7.
Yeah, interesting to see actually what drivers have decided to do in the pit, or in terms of fuel load at least. Because although Jerzyk will have the fresh tyres, sorry, Stitchbury will have the fresh tyres, Jerzyk will have the lighter fuel load. So I'm not sure which is more important at this point in the race.
So we've got another speeding in the pit lane for Demey this time.
Yep, so another stop-go 30 for Demey will mean he needs to take another trip through pit road as Stitchbury on the blinkers there to Jacob, but well, definitely not close enough for the number 161 to dive out of the way, and also the 161 does not need to dive out of the way. They are very much racing on track. Jacob hasn't pitted, but is well entitled to drive his lines.
Going a bit ragged.
Is going over every sausage curb, I think.
And decides not to hold his own on the wedge track there.
But let's see what this translates to in lap times. It was last time round a 1:48.7 for Jerzyk and 1:49.9 for Stitchbury.
Oh, that's awful. So it looks like having some effect. Jacob there on track.
As Demey dives into pit road to serve their stop-go 30.
Should take them back towards Kevin Nordemir, who's all of a sudden back in the race with something to drive for with his long stint pitting early. Be interesting to see the time gap once he pops out there.
At the moment, the gap between Jerzyk and Jakob. A 1 minute 10. And so for Stitchbury, it was a pretty good pit stop for them in the end. Only stopped 31 seconds.
I'm going to come in and fix the damage on that car. Now.
As Nordemir finding himself in a little bit of traffic here. As is that? I want to see what happened. Oh, and that was nearly Montegini into the side of our net race leader. So what's happened here? Wow. So we'll watch Wilkes to start with.
Bit sideways there.
And wants to try and get past. I'm not sure if that was a mistake by Montegini on his own or whether he just got pushed out of the way. But then, oh wow, that was
Very close.
very close indeed.
He almost did better not slowing down there, Stitchbury.
Yeah, just send it through and try and get past the incident as soon as possible.
Obviously not suggested that you put the accelerator down when you see an incident happening in front of you, but maybe a bit of experience there. He could see that he could squeeze through quickly, rather than having the racing line completely shut off to him.
Oh, and we're being informed by a chat that there was an incident between Nordy and Klein, so we're going to see if we can get a replay of that. Not sure what the blue flag rules are around here, but well, I don't think the blue flag rules are punt the other car out of the way. But oh, that was quite heavy contact there. Nordemir pushed out of the way.
Yeah, that's the way you do things, isn't there? Just go round the car. Is
Usually preferable.
yeah, I would say that's the baseline.
Whoa, as Stitchbury.
Yeah.
Is he pushing hard or is he hardly pushing? I don't know, but that was a very sideways Porsche. As he comes to get his way around Wilkes as well.
There's a lot of impatience behind other cars, but that worked out for him.
Stitchbury knows he's in a remote race at the moment. That last lap around 1:58.6. Stitchbury, was there an incident in there somewhere? Don't see it on my tracker, but that's 10 seconds lost in that lap.
Yeah, how's it happened? Yeah, that's coming to a halt somewhere, isn't it? It's gone sideways somewhere. And not what he wants when he's in his drag race with Jerzyk. Jerzyk's still not coming in.
As we've got Jakob and Montegini into the pit lane now. Jerzyk, the only driver yet to have pitted. And well, in this race there is no pit window, so come in whenever you like. And I wonder if Jerzyk is going to do the old naughty strategy of coming in on the final lap. But with a mandatory tyre change, I don't think you can actually do that.
Because you won't have changed your tyres.
Because you have to get into the box.
Yeah.
So I have to see what the tactic is here for Jerzyk. It may just be that they're planning to drive as much of the race as they possibly can in clean air, which would not be a bad strategy with an under 61 car.
Well, if he's looking at his timings, he might find he could pit now with clean air, but I can't see at the moment.
But with 1:15 to the leader, that gap has opened up, and we have seen a few mistakes or incidents for Stitchbury. So, have to imagine that Jerzyk would come out in front as well. If things weren't already going bad for the S. Montegini before, the number 87 car. They're going bad now as he picks himself up a drive-through for speeding in. Well, actually, I won't presume. It's either for speeding into the pit lane or it's for track limit violations. But either way, there's going to be I believe, a third trip to pit road for the number 87 car. And our leader is into pit road as we speak. So where is Stitchbury at the moment? Going around into the second sector, getting on the blinkers well in advance.
He knows he's in a race. Yeah, the driver being very kind to him there, letting him past. Early enough for him to take that corner. Almost full speed. Oh, would have been good to have a map here.
It would, but Jerzyk still stopped in his pit box at the moment. He's got another at least 5 seconds of being stopped. I imagine be coming out of the pit lane well ahead, I would think, but don't know where his pit box is. Is moving again now is Jerzyk. And Stitchbury comes down, start finish straight. Where is the number 61 car?
Yeah.
I think he's well out. He is. The gap now. 7.7 seconds is Jerzyk ahead. We were looking for him on the camera feed coming out of the pit lane, but no, he is well down the road.
It's that 10-second loss. A 10-second loss that lap with Stitchbury. We're not sure quite what happened, but yeah, that's been the big player.
And I believe that is Nordmir ahead of Jerzyk.
Yeah, I'm unsure of the blue flag rules in this cup in particular. It's been a while since I raced in the FRS sim events. But I assume it's like many other ACC, and it's your job still to go around them safely.
Even if the driver ahead should let you past, it's still up to you to not hit them.
Yeah, no matter how many times you flashed your lights.
So that gap, now that Jerzyk has been out on the cold tyres for a lap, has come down to 6.5 seconds. We can see Stitchbury just up there coming over the crest of the hill on the start-finish straight, but with 7.5 minutes remaining of this race, it is going to take an enormous drive from Stitchbury to closing that gap. So right now, the one driver who does appear to be in the chasing seat is Kevin Nordmir, the car just ahead of Jerzyk, who is slowly but surely bringing down that gap to Jakob ahead. Gap currently at 11 seconds. But in the last lap,
Big ask.
clawed back 1.4 seconds.
Oh, really?
And yellow flags out for Jakob. That heavily damaged car. As Jakob gets back onto the racing surface. And now that gap between Nordmir and Jakob down to 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, they're gonna be close towards the end.
We just see Nordmir coming into frame there as Jakob continues to bounce over the sausage curb. It seems to be his favourite pastime during this event.
Do you think it's Car's death of 1,000 cuts?
Well, I mean, It definitely looks like it's been through the wars, this car. There's some sizable panel gaps there at the front as Nordemir.
I think we saw him go off into a wall.
What?
Oh my god.
That, again, inventing his own lines as Jakob is around, looking like he was about to try and perform some donuts in the sandpit. As
Looks
Nordemir
like
through to P6.
the pace he wanted out of the car was a bit much for the car itself. So Nordemir, after a terrible start and second to last at the start of the race, speeding in the pit lanes, has very quietly worked himself up into the middle of the race again.
It's now Jerzy. Oh, a little bit of a moment for Nordemir, but Jerzy, I'm not sure whether he's just choosing to sit in behind Nordemir. Well, as Nordemir has the pace, but the gap between Jerzy and Stitchbury still sitting at around 6 seconds.
Now Jerzy showing the inside, his intentions there. Still not really close enough to demand room in front of Kevin.
And with Stitchbury still a good number of seconds back, can afford to be patient for a while. But I wonder if... Oh, as Nordemir has a little bit of a moment there, has spun it and has ground his car along the wall and now has Stitchbury right behind him. Stitchbury is not going to be happy with that rejoin.
He ate a lot of headlights there.
Yep, and gets right out of the way. Go back and see if we can see exactly what happened to Nordemir there.
I don't know if he saw Stitchery quite close behind in the other car. It looks like he used the wall to bounce back onto the track. I'm not sure if that's the healthiest option.
Oh, just about misses the wall, but it's not too bad a rejoin. Yeah. They are into the braking zone, but still
I would say the
not
speed
ideal.
Of that corner as well. I mean, the speed of the chicane. He's well above the race speed at that point on the track by the time Stitchbury comes up. So Stitchbury just didn't like the idea of a damaged, dirt-covered car coming back onto the track in front of him, maybe slowing him down.
As Stitchbury needing to clear this traffic as quickly as possible. I don't think it's going to have much of an impact on his race. Still 6 seconds back, but this is going to be feeding to his frustration. Just wants to get clear.
Really a victim of Jerzik's very, very consistent laps.
Yeah, and I think also a victim of his chosen strategy here as well.
Yeah, one bad stint, and he had that 10-second lap, of course.
Yeah, and if you're gonna cut the race in half, you really need to be hoping a lot of the cars behind you, well, all of the cars behind you, are doing the same thing. Whereas Jerzik deciding to go long means that he has had the clean air for most of the race. Actually, now that Stitchbury has cleared Jakob, Nordemir with the overtake to do all over again. As we head into the final 2 minutes of this race, this is the closest fight we have on track.
Some good overspeed there.
Goes to the outside.
Held his own on the inside.
There's a bit of contact there.
Tried to turn in as if Kevin wasn't there.
We see that one from another angle. Oh, it looked like actually the rear stepped out there for Jakob and just tried to catch it and tap the side of Nordemir.
He does really well actually catching the car there. He loses the car one way, hits Kevin, and probably immediately has to steer in the other direction. Does well. Still struggling there with his tyres by the looks of it.
It looks like I was about to say looks like Montegini's made it past Wilkes, but there seemed to have been some contact there. And this battle has been happening for a while, so let's see what has happened.
It's a long way away.
There's Mortagini with the real overspeed coming down the straight. What has happened here?
How early does Wilkes brake?
Mortagini to the inside.
Is that
Oh,
insanity?
overcooks it somewhat. And then, oh well, Wilkes
Nearly.
yeah, it's a bit clumsy from all parties there, really.
Yeah, not really to be. No, yeah, not our job to give out blame, but there wasn't really blame there. As I feel like both cars were side by side.
Definitely say both could have done better.
I have to say it didn't really look on at the start, but maybe Montadini nearly made that work.
Yep, and Jerzyk currently 6 seconds clear of Stitchbury. Actually falling down to 5. Perhaps just a couple of bad corners there for Jerzyk, but not going to matter much now as the clock ticks down to 0.
Yep.
So Jerzyk now
Keep it on the track.
just to keep it on the track and finish this lap, and will be a well-deserved win here at round 1.
Why did I feel like something was going to happen when we both said that?
I know, right?
I was waiting for him to go.
Let's not bring the commentator's curse down on Jerzyk, but it does look like it's
He clearly knows he's losing time, safely losing time at the moment. Keeping the track ticking by him. Great race by him.
yeah. Ooh, there's a little bit of a snap of oversteer there, getting us worried in the final lap.
Not old tyres. Should be okay.
Final sector to go. If he just keeps this together, it is going to be the maximum points taken.
We were worried. We were worried with Stitchbury's qualifying performance, but really didn't follow through on that pace after the first quarter of the race.
And that is a very good, well-controlled and well-strategized race from Igor Jerzyk, who takes the win here at round 1, followed home by Ewan Stitchbury. And to round out our podium, a driver we saw quite a lot of in the first half of the race, who's been quietly putting in the laps for the rest of the race.
Had a lot of incidents. He had a lot of incidents in the first stint, and he's managed to keep himself in third. That's well done.
Congratulations to Gokhan Actonets. Another driver that's been in the walls a little bit is Sven Klein. He's going for a little bit of a slide around the sector. I'm not sure if he now knows he's on camera and just showing off for the fans around the world.
So I've seen a lot of that. It might be some drivers' lines. Oh no!
Oh, he is absolutely putting on a show. As Klein comes across the line in P4.
Another good performance.
And Christophe Demey finishes the race in P5.
He's got to be a lit disappointed with that after his performance at the start.
Oh, and I gotta say, I hope Klein does not have a force feedback wheel, a direct drive wheel, because that is going to hurt your wrists. But congratulations to all of our finishers for tonight's race. And to give you a rundown of our top 10, as our 6th place driver, Kevin Nordemir, does donuts in the sand. Our top 10 was Jerzyk, Stitchbury, Actonets, Klein, Demey, Nordemir, Jacob, Wilkes, and we have the 2 Montaginis.
Yeah, good job.
That is it for round 1 of the FRS Porsche Hypercup. We will be back next week at the same time when the FRS Porsche Cup goes to Zolder. Until next time, I've been your host, Roy Waller. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.